Hello and welcome to another compilation of 3 Cyberpunk 2077 mod videos that I've released recently. I'm hoping to get these videos to even more people, but this will also be beneficial to anyone who has missed or just hasn't seen the last 3 mod videos that I've made. And here are the 3 videos that are featured in this video as well as the order that they are in. Cyberpunk 2077 best mods of 2025 so far. These new Cyberpunk 2077 car mod vehicles are insane. And then to finish it off, I have these Cyberpunk mods are way too good to miss. All these videos were released very recently. They are my last 3 mod videos. And there are also timestamps for you. And I've also cut out all the intros and outros to each video to keep it all flowing. And yes, there'll be a new outro for the video as well. But without further ado, let's get into this compilation. Starting off strong, They Will Remember adds a reactive memory system that makes Night City's factions genuinely remember your actions. Every time you're identified during combat and take down gang members, the faction keeps count. And the more you rack up kills, the more likely they'll turn fully hostile, attacking you on sight. It's also true for gangs you come across on the streets using the Night City Alive mod. What makes it even more interesting is the passage of time. Each in-game day, there's a chance those memories fade. If enough time passes, factions might cool off and return to neutral. But don't count on it if you've been causing chaos. A recent update to this mod made it so there's also a disguise system built in. Dress like your enemies and you might fool them into thinking you're one of them. Though this can backfire if you run into someone who hates that faction you're pretending to be. You can even get unexpected backup if your disguise lines up with the right allies. It's all fully customizable too. You can tweak the aggression, gang memory, and more from the mod settings menu. And if you want the full effect, pairing this with Night City Alive and Equipment EX takes the immersion to the next level. This mod genuinely changes how you move through Night City. Every choice matters, and Night City will not forget. Well, they may forget after a day, of course, but they also might not. Anyways, moving over to the next mod. If you've ever felt like Night City's enemies were a bit too easy, Combat Revolution fixes that. This mod completely overhauls enemy AI, making them way more aggressive, tactical, and unpredictable. Enemies won't just stand around or forget you're there. They'll now chase you, call for backup, use grenades strategically, and even execute coordinated smoke tactics during close range encounters. Each enemy archetype has been reworked. I believe like 30 in total. Melee units now use flashbangs and smoke, while ranged enemies prefer incendiary and gas grenades to flush you out of cover. Different factions have different levels of accuracy too. Gang thugs are a little sloppy, but trained operatives, they'll make you think twice before peeking out. On top of that, cyber warfare is finally part of the equation. Enemies will now threaten you more often, with hacks forcing you to actually counter their attacks instead of steamrolling through with brute force. The result is combat that's far more tactical and way more in line with Cyberpunk's world. Instead of bullet sponges, much like some other mods that improve combat, this mod makes it so difficulty now comes from smarter enemies, not just inflated health bars. There's a ton of depth in this one, so if you want all the gritty details, definitely check out the mod page for more. But moving on, this next mod seriously levels up Cyberware. Neuralware Chipware Expansion. This mod introduces over 40 new chipware implants, plug-and-play neural upgrades that grant new combat techniques, passive bonuses, and even hidden abilities that grow stronger over time. At the heart of all this is a new neural capacity system. Think of it like a stamina bar for your cyberbrain. Using high-powered systems like Sandavistans or Overclock now drains this resource, meaning you'll have to manage your cyberware usage more carefully in combat. It recharges over time, faster outside of combat, but adds a real sense of pacing and tension to big fights. You'll also install a neural processor, a brand new cyberware slot that expands your neural capacity and acts as the hub for slotting in chipware. From there, you've got 3 main chip types. Reflex chips, they give you active combat techniques like enhanced movement or burst abilities. Memory chips provide passive perks that evolve as you play. Some even hide secret effects you can unlock. And software chips that run on RAM and come with digital licenses, or you can crack them to bypass those restrictions entirely. I don't actually know what that one means because I got my details from the mod page, but it sounds really cool. Vendors around the city now sell this stuff, including new junk vendors and specialized chipware dealers in Dogtown. So keep an eye out. But hopping over to another mod. This one finally delivers on something CDPR hinted at but never fully gave us. Viktor Vektor's Garage. With this mod, you can now access Vic's personal garage space, fully restored and integrated right into his clinic. It's a cut piece of content that feels like it should have always been there. The garage interior is fully decorated and lit properly, with smoother road access so it doesn't feel like a dead end. It's not just cosmetic either. You've got access to a usable stash and a working computer setup inside. It really adds a new layer of immersion, like Vic's world is a bit more complete now. The modder is also hoping to bring full car customization to this location in the future, so it might evolve into something even bigger later on. But for now, it's a perfect little addition that makes Vic's corner of Night City feel a lot more alive. Quick pause, if you're enjoying these mods and finding this video helpful, subscribing would really mean a lot to me. It helps out a lot, it really supports the channel, and you'll never miss another Cyberpunk mod showcase in the future. Also, drop a like while you're down there. But getting back to the vid. If you've ever wished for a peaceful escape from the chaos of Night City, The drive-in theater mod delivers exactly that. Once abandoned, this spot has now been brought back to life, fully restored with a working movie screen, crowds of NPCs packed with parking lots, and even a stocked concession stand. You can pull in with your car, park up in your own space, and just chill while Cyberpunk-themed media plays out on the big screen. There are places to sit, a usable stash and terminal, and even a second-floor projector room that doubles as a mini NCPD defense point. It's incredibly atmospheric, like a small pocket of calm inside the city's madness. Whether you're snapping photos, role-playing, or just vibing out after a mission, this place is pure immersion. Plus, there's a fast travel point nearby, but everyone knows where the drive-in theater is. Let's switch it up now with some armor that'll make your V look absolutely brutal. The Doom Eternal Marauder armor. This mod is exceptional. Imported straight from Doom Eternal, this incredibly detailed armor is available for both masculine and female V, making your character visually striking and instantly recognizable. Great for photos or just looking menacing. But next up is the Cyber Samurai armor. This just looks cool, offering a striking blend of style and intimidation. Whether you're slicing through foes or navigating neon-lit streets, your V will embody a sleek, formidable presence. And one more mod to add to your V customization, elevate your character's cyberpunk identity with the visually dynamic Wearable Cybereyes mod. This allows you to mix and match any eye colors using the wardrobe. They just slot over your current eyes, no need to recreate your character or anything like that. They're quite cool and easy to use, perfect for photos of course. But next up is probably one of the best apartment mods that I've seen this year. Apartments Enhanced. This gives your living spaces the makeover they've desperately needed. It completely overhauls the H10 Mega Building, Japantown, and Corpo Plaza apartments, upgrading not just the rooms themselves, but the surrounding areas like the hallways and the lobbies, for a much more immersive and lived-in vibe. Originally built as AMM presets, this new version brings everything together in a clean, modular way. Over 300 props have been placed by hand, ranging from custom decorations to ambient clutter, making each location feel natural, stylish, and aligned with Night City's aesthetic. There are a whole lot of changes on each one of these apartments, some subtle and others not so subtle. But overall, they are all quite nice. While it adds a ton of detail, it still feels lore-friendly and immersive whether you're role-playing a corpo or a street kid, or just want a place that actually feels like home. This is the kind of polishing that makes coming back to your apartment feel meaningful again. Alright, here's one that adds a bit of unexpected charm to your day. With CatFacts, you'll start receiving random cat-related trivia straight to your in-game phone. A new contact is automatically added after installing this mod, and from there, you're on the list. You can adjust how often you get these little gems in your mod settings. And if cats aren't your thing, there's even an option to switch over to dog facts instead. It's simple, fun, and adds a bit of personality between missions. Whether you're deep in a gig or just cruising the streets, it's a nice reminder that even in a dystopian future, cat memes still thrive. Now, from wholesome distractions to gritty realism, let's talk about a mod that brings tiny but impactful detail to Night City's vehicles. This one's a subtle detail, but once you notice it, you'll never want to go back. Dynamic license plates completely overhauls the license plate system in Cyberpunk 2077, replacing the old single texture design with over 30 unique plates tailored to gangs, corporations, major characters, and even specific regions. Now, when you're cruising through Night City, you'll see distinct plates for groups like 6th Street, Tyger Claws, Arasaka, and Militech. Even junkers and visitor vehicles from places like Texas, Utah, or Oregon get lore-friendly tags that actually make sense in the world. The mod didn't stop there either. Plates are now physical and react to lighting, ditching the old glow and helping them blend in more naturally. Poorer vehicles get their own damaged, warped versions for extra immersion. And every standard car now pulls from a small pool of randomized textures, so it's not all copy-paste. It's the kind of background detail that enhances realism without drawing too much attention to itself. But it makes a big difference once you've seen it in action. For the car enthusiasts, this one's an absolute treat. The Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX brings the iconic late 90s sports car into Night City with stunning detail. But this time, it's packed with customization options. You get 15 total appearances, including 3 slick liveries, and a range of tuning parts to make this ride your own. We're talking bumpers, spoilers, splitters, exhausts, hoods, and more. Plus neon underglow, swappable roofs, headlights, taillights, and 8 full sets of wheels to choose from. Everything can be picked through the Vortex Foam Mod installer for quick, easy setup. Even the little touches are covered. You can toss a bobblehead in the rear window, drop a backpack or NOS bottles on the back seat. Don't worry, we'll get back to NOS in a second. It all adds up to a car that doesn't just look good, it feels really nice as well. It drives smooth, sounds great, and delivers both on style and substance. But hopping over to something that pairs perfectly with your cars. Sometimes you just need that extra kick, and the Nitrous mod certainly delivers. This adds a full Nitrous system to all vehicles in Cyberpunk 2077. Only the vehicles that you own though, so don't worry about NPCs just boosting into brick walls or running you off the road. But it's complete with custom visual effects, sound design, and an on-screen HUD indicator. Once installed, you'll have a new boost option for both cars and bikes. By default, it's bound to left shift for cars and left control for bikes. But you can rebind it in the mod settings, and if you're using a controller, it might take a little bit of tweaking, but it's certainly doable and totally worth it once you hit that boost and tear through the streets. Whether you're in a high-speed chase, racing through the Badlands, or just want to feel like an absolute menace on the road, this mod injects pure adrenaline into your drive. Let's get on to the final mod for today. If you're looking to ride through Night City in style, the Bikes of the Dark Future HV4 mod is a no-brainer. This pack introduces a stunning lineup of 38 custom bikes all built around the HV4 platform, but with 5 distinct styles: Showstopper, Hyperbike, Sport Bike, Street Fighter, Scrambler, and even a cafe racer variation. Each model comes with its own personality. Whether you're after aggressive, sleek lines or a rugged stripped-down aesthetic, there's a bike here that fits the look. And these aren't just reskins. They're finely detailed, well-handled, and built to match Cyberpunk's world perfectly. Now, a mod like this did actually come out sometime last year or perhaps before that, but that was Bikes of the Dark Future HV4, and it only had one variant of the Arch. This one has 5. So I think that's the differences. If you're wondering why this mod's actually in this list, this one is new. But these bikes turn every ride into a statement. The Toyota MR2 Supercharged. This mod brings the iconic 1980s sports car into Night City with excellent detail both inside and out. It's got a nice design, drives well, and has cool headlights. It also feels right at home weaving through Night City's tight corners and neon backstreets. Honestly, cruising around in this thing feels like stepping into a retro futuristic fantasy. And it's one of those mods that makes you go, yeah, that could belong here. Next, something completely unexpected, the Cyberkart. And yup, it's exactly what it sounds like. A fully drivable go-kart zipping around Night City. It's small, fast, and handles probably how you'd expect it to. But it's fun. Also, Johnny Silverhand actually rides on the front of it. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it's funny and adds a lot of personality to this tiny machine. Whether you're doing donuts in a parking lot or zipping through traffic, it's the kind of mod that just makes the game feel more fun and chaotic in the best way. Now for something with serious power and attitude, the Nissan GTR Lone Wanderer. This mod drops a heavily modified R35 GTR into the game, and it is aggressive from every angle, with wide fenders, a custom Cyberpunk style kit, and some cool little additions around the car. This thing turns heads fast, and it's not just about looks. The GTR feels planted and powerful. It's fast, loud, and feels like the kind of car that belongs to someone who owns the city block. And it also is a weaponized vehicle, by the way, so makes perfect sense. Alright, let's step into luxury and speed with the Porsche Carrera GT 2003. This one's for players who want that refined supercar experience. It's been faithfully recreated with sleek bodywork, precise handling, and a truly stunning engine note. Every little detail from the rims to the exhaust tone feels premium. This is the kind of car that begs to be driven fast down the freeway at night with rain hitting the windshield and neon lights reflecting off the wet asphalt. Switching gears slightly, let's talk about Need More Smoke effects. This isn't a car, but it massively changes how driving feels. It adds big, dramatic tire smoke to your burnouts, drifts, and launches. And I do mean big. It's completely over the top. Definitely not realistic, but that's not the point. It gives your driving moments some extra flair and makes high-speed turns or just messing around feel way more cinematic. Think Fast and Furious levels of smoke. And it is amazing for screenshots too. Now for a little vintage charm, the Mini Cooper S 1965. This classic British icon has been brought into Night City with an incredible level of detail. It's compact, fun to drive, and has a surprisingly nice interior. Perfect for cruising through tight alleyways or taking a break from the high-speed chaos. There's something really satisfying about seeing this cheerful little car navigating such a gritty, futuristic world. It's a reminder that not every ride has to be massive or intimidating to be cool. And then there's the Batmobile, specifically the Batmobile BVS Archive XL mod. This thing looks like it came straight from some Batman universe and got dropped right into Cyberpunk. It's massive, it's armored, and it absolutely dominates the road. The only catch? It doesn't have an interior, so it's best used in third-person mode. But even with that limitation, it's just such a fun and cool vehicle. Hopefully someday we will get an interior version, but for now, this thing still looks insane rolling through the streets. Now let's fix the driving. And these mods I have paired together, and it feels it's overall a much better experience than base game driving. The paired driving mods are Cyberdrift, Gripped Up, Dynamic Downforce, and Dynamic Gravity Modifier. These mods work in harmony to give you incredibly responsive driving experience. Cyberdrift lift lets you slide around corners with finesse, while gripped up increases traction, reducing unnecessary oversteering. Dynamic downforce keeps your vehicle stable at high speeds, and dynamic gravity modifier ensures that every car feels weighty and controlled. Together, they make driving in Cyberpunk feel like you're behind the wheel of a powerful machine, ideal for navigating the intense traffic from Nova City add-ons. It's the ultimate setup for anyone serious about vehicular realism in Night City. Something that's straight up chaos on one wheel. And I mean that in the best possible way. The Wobbler. It's a monowheel of madness, brought to life by a lunatic ex-Militech engineer who pieced it together from scrap parts found in the Night City junk fields. Think the base Kasangi bike frame, all Frankensteined up with a bunch of parts and a big freaking wheel. But somehow it all works, and it works very well. The design includes I believe it's called Crystal Dome thingamajig, which basically means that even though there's a massive tire front and center, your view stays totally unobstructed. Driving this thing feels unhinged, but in a fun, fully controlled way. The model went deep into tuning and handling, so it's got a surprisingly smooth ride, both on streets and off-road terrain, with a TIE Fighter style stabilizer system that actually keeps it balanced. Otherwise, I assume it would just flop and fall, and you'd get hurt. And there's even an alternate version available called the BMF. You could probably guess what that means. Big Mother something, which you can install alongside the original as its own separate vehicle. So if you want that oversized madness dialed to 11, it's an option. Now, I didn't check it out personally yet, but here's what it looks like. Absolutely insane. I will be checking this out after the video. It's just ridiculous, but it's one of the most fun and unique rides that you can drop into Night City right now. If you're looking to stand out and look like you barely survived a Nomad scrapyard on the way to a street race, well, this is the one. But moving over to the next mod, the Tyger Cache New Iconic Weapons. This mod adds 3 new Tyger Claw themed iconic weapons, each with a custom look, unique effects, and proper world placement that makes tracking them down feel like part of the story. First up is Kill Cam. This one's based on the Rasatsu Sniper and has been tweaked for style and violence. When you aim, the first shot you take is guaranteed to crit, and if you pull it off while doing something flashy like sliding, dodging, or jumping, the crit damage gets boosted even more. It's got that whole cyber influencer killer vibe going on, as you can see here by the viewer count fluctuating quite up and down. Now you can find this one during Wakako's gig Greed Never Pays, or later on at the black market vendor in the stadium if you missed out. And the second weapon in this pack is the Bushido. This one's built for honor duels, literally. It's a sleek pistol that locks you into a damage focused duel with one enemy at a time, dealing and taking more damage from them while reducing the damage from others. But if you try to back out or hit someone else mid-fight, you'll take a hit for dishonor. There's even an optional shameful edition if you want to skip the self-damage part and just blast whoever. You'll find it during Regina's Bloodsport gig, or yes, at the stadium vendor if you missed it. And the last weapon in this pack is Oni's Horde. This one's a Tyger Claw style baseball bat that plays into the brutal side of debt collection. Every time you get a kill with it, you get something back. Either health or a health item, I can't remember, a grenade charge, or a hit of sake. That last one's got a bit of kick too. It can blur your vision slightly, so if you're not into the drunken brawler vibe, you can grab the optional sober version to skip the booze effect. Now, I didn't realize this when I was actually using it, but reading the mod page, that's what I gathered, because I was using the Santavistan for most of the time because my enemies are too hard on the game. Not bad, they're just better. But anyways, this weapon drops during Wakako's gig, Tyger, and Vulture. And also with each of these weapons, you can spawn them in using the CET console, as I did because saving time, recording lots of footage, etc, etc. But anyways, moving over to the next mod for today. This one's for players who want a more grounded, modern living space for V. H10 Apartment Redecorated is a full revamp of the H10 mega building apartment, and it gives off a cleaner, tidier, more neutral tone. The layout stays the same, of course, but it's been quite reworked and redecorated. Better placement and more or less much improved lighting. Now, the only issue I have with this mod is the bamboo and the vending machine clipping, as well as the beanbag and that box in the way near the front door. I don't know why. I don't think it's to do with another mod I have installed. It could be. But slight issues aside, the warm ambient tones make it feel way more comfortable. Almost like you're actually coming back to a proper home, rather than some cluttered, oversaturated hideout. If you want a low-key place to call home that doesn't scream Edgerunner's chaos, this is it. But if that last one is too chill for you, this one's the exact opposite. Cyberden completely transforms the H10 apartment into a high-tech netrunner's paradise. We're talking sleek black walls, glowing neon accents, cluttered tech everywhere, bad cable management as well, and gritty lighting that makes the place feel alive. basically the room I'm in right now, and I love it. It's got that perfect underground operator aesthetic, grimy, loud, and unmistakably Night City. This one is sweet as hell. It's also packed with custom like smart frames placed all over the apartment. They're in your face just enough to add detail without feeling overdone whatsoever. This place looks like V's been living here for a while and doing all sorts of things in the process. The clutter here is perfect. I'm actually quite impressed with this H10 overhaul, and it has enough lived-in chaos to make Corpo V very uncomfortable. Despite the aesthetic chaos, it all feels very intentional. Like everything has a purpose. So if you like this vibe for your V, or just want your place to look like a visual punch to the face, this shall be your new safe house. This one's easy to overlook, but once you use it, it feels great. Map rotation with mouse lets you rotate the in-game map just by holding the middle mouse button. It sounds small, but if you've ever zoomed into map trying to figure out a weird road layout and had to physically like turn your head or anything, you already know how much this could help. It just adds that bit of control we were missing. Smooth, lightweight, and works perfectly with the native interface. And perfectly with controller, because that's what I used. Total game enhancer for planners and completionists. The next mod I have is Streetlight Colors. I did not expect to see this type of mod, well, ever, but it gives you the ability to customize the color of the city's streetlights across Night City. Red, blue, green, purple, you have the whole color wheel, or color square in this case. And you can use it to set whichever tone and brightness that you want. Whether you're going for a dystopian neon horror theme vibe, apocalyptic even, with a bunch of NPCs walking around and no zombies, or just want to color match your outfit in photo mode, for example. It adds a layer of visual control that wasn't there before. Also, it works great with visual LUTs or reshade presets if you use those and want to lean fully into atmosphere. Highly recommended for virtual photographers and immersive vibe enjoyers. But moving on. Now this one's wild. The Bentley 6 1930. It's older than your mum. Sorry, that's so out of pocket. Never mind, just continue on. Now, does this fit into the Cyberpunk aesthetic? No, but I wanted it. Everything about this car screams old world luxury. It's got chrome finishes, white wall tires, full custom bodywork, and that unmistakable silhouette. Long, elegant, and totally out of place. But it's a one-of-one, custom-made for V only. Well, that's how I'm looking at it at least. You pull up to embers in this thing, it looks like you own the building. The only thing that didn't quite match the otherwise pristine design is the interior. The dash dials are a little lower res it feels, and the backseat texture lacks the detail as the rest of the car. It's nothing major, still totally drivable and fun, but definitely something that could shine with a little polish in a future update. Still, this mod is a pure flex. It's not just a car, it's a statement. One of the coolest aesthetic rides that I've seen drop recently. But if you prefer something futuristic but grounded in reality, the Lotus Evija, I don't know how to pronounce that, is for you. This is a real-world electric hypercar, and it's been put into Cyberpunk with serious care. The model is ultra-detailed with smooth contours, responsive acceleration, and high-speed handling that actually makes freeway runs fun again. The lighting on this thing is also top tier. Feels right at home in Night City, from the interior to the exterior. It's just straight-up vibes in every way. You've got the cool light strip in the car, and then the extremely nice tail lights. But after this insanely cool ride, something less futuristic, but a classic. Straight muscle, the 1999 Dodge Viper. This mod comes in multiple color schemes if you grab the optional file. It has great engine audio and a really solid center of gravity that makes it satisfying to drift and corner at speed. This one doesn't try to be high-tech or cybery, it's just brute force and torque. Great for street races or just causing some chaos downtown. Has a proper weighty feel to it too, which is a nice contrast to a lot of the base game's floaty cars. Now, here's what I'm calling a couple honorable mentions. Mods that weren't from this week, but deserve the spotlight. Kills counter display. So when I first saw this mod, I was hoping and thought that it would track kills by individual weapons, like how many kills you've gotten with your favorite gun, for example. That would have been very cool, but that's not quite what it does. Instead, this mod adds a clean kill counter right below your ammo HUD. It's not super complex, but it's actually a great little touch if you want a consistent reminder of the chaos you're leaving behind. But it would be awesome to see a future version with per weapon tracking, but for now, it's a polished and functional addition to UI. It doesn't look out of place at all either if you're worried about that. It also does come in the E3 HUD variant as well if you use the E3 HUD. I think that's what it's called. I personally don't use that, but I'm just letting you know. Next up is Cyberkart Nomad Edition. So do you remember the Cyberkart? Well, this is him now, all grown up. Look at him, so good. But this one is built for the Badlands. It's been kitted out with off-road suspension, big tires, Nomad branding, and more lights. But that's obviously not the main focus. This thing is fully kitted with weaponry. It's got 2 massive machine guns and an entire missile launcher. It's very fun to drive and doesn't tip as easily as you'd think either. But if you want to rip through the outskirts with something that looks halfway between Mad Max and Mario Kart and is as dangerous as all of Mad Max, grab this and go wild. Also, it's had some quality of life tweaks. And the main one being that Johnny doesn't sit higher than you and block a little bit of your vision. He now just sits lower in his own little space. So yeah, great addition all around. Thank you very much for watching this compilation video. Hopefully you found some cool new mods for your game. And if you want even more mods, well, you know where to go. My YouTube channel, of course. Click the profile picture. But thank you again very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Until next time, goodbye and happy modding.